I think that today the customer will be much more engaged in interacting with a business. Before even there's any type of contact, the customer journey will see the customer looking for information and doing research online, apps, but also offline, asking their friends and colleagues and peers that they can take information and recommendations and product information from. So you can see the ordinary consumer act like the professional buyer used to do 10 years ago with extensive research, but also pooling her or his network relationships to find information and recommendations in order to make the best buy. So the customer is much more demanding, but also networking. The second opportunity, I think, is that the modern employee is the next spokesperson, because we've had the CEO, we've had brand ambassadors in form of sports athletes or Hollywood celebrities and so on. But now with social media, every single human being has some sort of social reach and network, and that's the media channel, where you can have your message sent out as a brand if you have the confidence and the liking of that employee. And the benefit with this is that there's a mutual interest and trust in the relationship between the employee and his or her colleagues, friends and family and so on, who is sort of the audience. So the audience in those channels are so highly engaged and interested in the messaging, and it's rare to sort of find that and be able to create that when you just have traditional advertising, even if you use sort of a spokesperson like a famous athlete or the Hollywood starlet. So I think that's a tremendous opportunity. The third opportunity, I think, is we're going to see, and we're seeing a growing number of a new generation of celebrities, and they're online celebrities. They're social influencers, and the interesting thing with them is that they're not always based in a profession like sports or politics or science or anything, but you have another sort of group among them who plays out based on their personality, which gives a new group of people in society, people that they relate to. Because when you have the typical Hollywood star or athlete, that's always a hero. Someone who's far away from my sort of everyday living. But when you have social celebrities who are like ordinary people who has become popular, that's like the most popular kid in school. And I love to be able to be friend with him or her and be part of that gang, that squad. So I think that they offer another sort of emotional experience that many people want to connect with and have and sort of nurture in their life, and that's the everyday celebrity. And today their primary business model is to act as spokespersons, as influencers for brands. So I think that's a huge opportunity. It is, absolutely, because you can see the sort of two ends of a perspective. There are certain businesses that has a very typical goal culture. Imagine Ernst & Young or McKinsey and many of the sales-driven Dell IT industry, where you have you are evaluated as an employee based on your results and your key performance indexes, and you're evaluated and promoted, and you get your benefits and your salary increases and your promotion all based on that evaluation. So that's part of the culture and something you have a buy-in to emotionally. And being able to use your private social network in order to contribute and be sort of a successful employee is a quite natural step for them, regarding or provided that there's already sort of a culture base for that kind of behavior. On the other end of the perspective, you can see Greenpeace, or people who work with social good and charity foundations and so on. They took the job and not as much as a job, as a lifestyle, as a personal contribution to make the world better. So for them to be an ambassador is sort of, that's what they do at work, that's what they want work to sort of fill as sort of a gap or a role in their life. I work in Greenpeace, or I work at any Red Cross or any sort of organization because I want to make a difference in the world. And of course, they're much more interested in sharing and spreading the word, as that's sort of also that kind of organization's DNA. So in both of these two examples, you have a cultural base in the organization, which makes it very easy and sort of natural for the employee to take on the employee advocacy as sort of a yes, any day. And I think the challenge is for any organization that doesn't sort of fall into one of those two categories to really motivate their employees to understand, why would I, filter my Facebook or my Snapchat or my LinkedIn feed with advertisement for my employer? I mean, I do my work and I get my pay, and that's the deal. So if you want the deal to consist of more, and you want that person to become that brand ambassador with some sort of passion and credibility, you need to really answer the question, what's in it for them? And I think that's why we come into the Simon Sinek why. How does this organization or the company contribute in the world? Because if you don't find that sort of cultural basis, very few people will want to sort of act as a commercial, as sort of an ongoing commercial for the employer. Few people want that, because we have sort of on a basic line, we have a negative basic feeling about advertisement, and we don't want to be that person. We want to be liked. Everyone wants to be liked. So you need to sort of really find that personal foundation for them that motivates that kind of behavior. And of course, when you have employees, not everyone will want to do that, but the ones who are successful and likes to do it, appreciate that. Really, that's sort of, if you want a certain behavior to sort of expand and grow and be considered to be an ideal, you need to reward it. Give it attention and reward it and say that this is an ideal, this is a perfect, or this is an employee that we really, we appreciate the contribution that you make for this company. And I think you need to do that personally, but also publicly in front of the colleagues if you want to foster that kind of behavior.